Alright, hello, welcome back to the PDL draft. This time we're on week 4, and if you're wondering, no week 3 because that game never happened, it was a forfeit. So, yeah, no game, just not going to talk about it. But if you're wondering, I got the forfeit win. Now this week we are up against Chocolate Lab and his dubiously named team Gaylord Gastrons. Let's take a look at it. So this is a pretty stacked, top-heavy team, it's only 9 Pokemon. Obvious threats here are Darkrai, the big physical special threats, Nasty Plot, Focus Blast, Ice Beam, Sludge Bomb. Could also potentially be annoying with Hypnosis, Sleep stuff. Latios, you all know it. Another very scary special attacker. Can flip things with Psyshock. Also potentially just flip turning out. Potential Scarfer I see there. Very good Rotom, and very good utility, I should say, in Rotom and Cobalion, getting things like rocks, both of them that can Volt Turn. Rotom's really good at spreading status, pretty hard to pin down. And then we've got a Azumarill who is a really good counter into my Chi-Yu, with that typing, so kind of expecting an Assault Vest there. Bramblegast is just has good strong stab, can do stuff with Strength Sap, Leech Seed. Something you gotta respect, even though it doesn't look that powerful. The Poltergeist Power Whip combo is pretty good. Ursaluna, of course, big scary breaker, bulky. Probably just looking at Guts Facade, that kind of thing. And then the two Terra Captains. Number one, we've got Avalugg, who not super scared of. I mean, obviously it can be a great physical wall, with access to things like Terra Fairy, Terra Fighting. But the one I'm actually scared of is the Reveroom, which the, flying or ground Terra and access to shift gear. This thing can be a really scary breaker. Gets one shift gear off and then Iron Head, Gunk Shot, high horsepower. Hits really hard. And of course, usually you want to go for a ground move into it, but that's not free with Terra flying. So let's get into what I had cooked up this week. First of all, we got Chi-Yu. It's the standard, I know. Kind of boring, but if it works, it works. Choice Scarf, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Inferno just cuz. Dark Pulse. Inferno never gonna click that. I only need the stab moves really. It's Fire Blast if I want a little more power. Maybe should have put Overheat there, but it didn't really matter. Just a standard Scarf Chi-Yu. Hits everything pretty hard except the Azumarill. Next up, we got the Empoleon. This is my primary special wall. So I'm gonna be able to handle things like Latios, Darkrai, to an extent. Running a Chople Berry on this guy to deal with things like Superpower Azumarill, Aura Sphere from Latios, Focus Blast from Darkrai. Running Surf instead of Flip Turn here because I want to be able to actually threaten things like Darkrai and, Avalugg, Ursaluna. Especially Ursaluna, it's nice to hit with Surf. Because if I'm just Flip Turning, I'm really not that much of a threat, and I don't have a lot of things I particularly want to Flip Turn into instead of just Surfing. So that's why I've got Surf instead of Flip Turn, and Roar to phase things, Roost, Longevity, Knock Off to be annoying. Next up we got the Whimsicott, and this is the evil set, yet again. Encore, Subseed, Moonblast. I mean, it's just really annoying. Going physically defensive here to deal with things like Ursaluna, Azumarill, and Rotom Wash too. Can't really hit this. And with the Encore, I can play annoying games with things like Latios. Does it want a Draco if Whimsicott's around? Do you risk the fighting or the ground move? Sorry, with Ursaluna, etc., etc. So yeah, it can be annoying with Encore and be able to sub on things, and also Moonblast, so I'm not totally helpless against Darkrai, who does not care about Encore and Leech Seed because of that dark typing, of course. Next up, we got our primary Terra Captain here, Drifblim, running the same set as usual, Calm Mind, Strength Sap, Shadow Ball, and Terra Blast. Running a Keyberry here, and the EVs here, the idea is I can outspeed a Modest Scarf Latios after Unburden, and the defense EVs, with that Keyberry, it will always allow me to live a Poltergeist plus a Shadow Sneak from Bramblegast. So I can Poltergeist and then Shadow Sneak after the Keyberry boost. I'll be able to live that as long as I've Terra Fairy'd first, obviously. I'm not going to live a Poltergeist if I'm still weak to it. And then, Shadow Ball, Fairy Blast, hits everything, the classic coveted Flutter main coverage there. And then Strength Sap, of course, really nice into targets like Ursaluna, Cobalion, and Azumarill. So yeah, this is my primary Terra Captain, and yet again, we've got another Smeagol who technically is also Terra Captain, not expecting to use that. And basically the moves you see are the order I expect to use them in. So we can start off with the Tidy Up to get rid of any other hazards, like Cobalion sitting rocks, and get my speed boosted up. And then with that boost in speed, I can go ahead and Spore something, put them to sleep, follow up with a Stone Axe, so I can get down my own Stealth Rocks and break any potential sashes on the other side, which is why I'm not running just Stealth Rock. I do risk the 10% miss, but I think it's worth it. And then finally we have Memento, so I can get rid of Smeargle and pivot out safely to my last Pokemon, Gallade, the primary recipient of that Memento, because the idea is once I have Memento, I can then use Agility on Gallade, who's going to outspeed everything, and it can really go to town with this coverage. Obviously Sacred Sword's, incredible move on Gallade, but Night Slash here can hit Latios and Brambleghast, and then Leaf Blade can hit Rotom and Azumarill, so nothing is safe against this. I have good neutral coverage against everything on Chocolate Lab's team, so Gallade has a lot of potential, but depends if I can get that Smeargle set up. And that is the team for Week 4. Let's get into the battle now. Well, I'd say that went pretty perfectly according to plan. Smeargle got the exact sequence I wanted, with Tidy Up, into Spore, into Stone Axe, which thankfully hit, into Memento. And to be honest, I got a little lucky there that actually worked out. The Reverie could have potentially subbed up again, give me some problems. It also could have had Overcoat, which would have ruined Spore. Luckily, it did not have that. But yeah, after that was the Gallade show. Perfect coverage, just OHKOing everything with the rocks is pretty crazy. And fun fact, that Darkrai with the Scarf is the reason it outsped. That crit did matter. Usually, with that crit, that'd be doing 40% to max HP Gallade. And if it did not crit, it would have been 6 kills for Gallade. But unfortunately, crit did happen. But got to clean up with that Chi-Yu. And yeah, I mean, what else could you want from that game? Half my team never came out, and that's pretty ideal. Anyway, if you're still with me, thank you for watching, and I will see you in Week 5. Take care.